Now on CoastTV News.
A new bill battles cash bail, a legislative proposal that will keep some behind bars.
Border battle. President Biden wants to get that bipartisan border bill back on the table, plus what one of Delaware's own senators has to say.
An alarming drop in one key Maryland crop. What's happening with blue crab?
Another shopping center could be coming to one of Sussex County's busiest roadways. We're going to tell you what's proposed and where it is.
And the latest model runs indicating a storm is indeed on the horizon. I'll pinpoint the timing for you in your upcoming forecast.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Locked up, a new set of bills that have passed through the state Senate would keep some alleged criminals in jail up until trial. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with a series of crime bills making their way through the Delaware legislature.
New tonight, the Delaware Senate unanimously passing legislation that would keep some criminal defendants in jail in the lead up to their trials if they're charged with certain dangerous felony offenses.
There are three key parts here. SB 11 is the main bill. According to lawmakers, this would keep people who are charged with crimes that are considered a clear and convincing risk to public safety in custody.
Meanwhile, Senate Substitute 1 for SB 11. This allows the legislature to identify which crimes and circumstances actually qualify for preventative detention.
And also there's this, Senate Bill 12. It's a companion bill, and it actually greatly reduces reliance on cash bail. It does leave some leeway for judges' discretion if they believe it's needed for public safety.
And let's stick with Senate Bill 12, the cash bail portion of all of this, just a bit longer. Attorney General Kathy Jennings has criticized the current system, saying cash bail is, quote, justice should be blind to your wealth or your lack thereof, but under the current law, it is not. These bills still need to make it through the House, and then it would be ready for Governor Carney's signature.
New tonight, former Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley has endorsed her former political rival, Donald Trump, for president. Haley, who was once the governor of South Carolina as well as an ambassador for the United Nations, ended her own bid for the GOP nomination 2 months ago, but did not immediately endorse Trump. Her announcement could signal a near-complete consolidation of support behind Trump, even from those who have labeled him a threat in the past. Haley made it clear that she feels Trump has work to do to win over voters who have previously supported her. And now let's transition to the weather here. We're taking a live look outside into Lewis on what was a pretty warm evening tonight. Let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams to see when the rain will arrive.
Well, that rain's going to come in on, I say, 2, possibly 3 different buses, so to speak. All right, so we're talking about the early morning commute, lunchtime commute, and we may have a late night bus, okay? They take a look. We're at Gateway Subaru camera right now in Ocean City. We're looking very clear. Some folks were walking there a little bit earlier, but they're all gone. It's 62 degrees right now, and we're going to stay in the 60s for the rest of this evening as a result of what's happening. Now, we do have a severe weather threat, but it's only level 1, the lowest level possible, but it involves the entire Delmarva Peninsula. So we have 3 different times. I'm looking at 7:30, 2:30, 4:30. So we're going to discuss those 3 possible arrival times in a little more detail coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. Tyler Mayu is appealing the state's highest court, to the state's highest court, to overturn a decision that reinstated his trial for the hit-and-run death of 14-year-old Gavin Knupp. His trial was dismissed last August, but was sent back to circuit court in March. Prosecutors argue that the charges were correctly filed and the decision was right. The Supreme Court hasn't decided whether to hear the appeal yet. Knupp was killed in a July 2022 hit-and-run in Ocean Pines.
A Sussex County man will spend the rest of his life in prison for a deadly restaurant shooting. 24-year-old Yoni Morales Garcia was sentenced for the murders of Armando Chilel Lopez and Honorio Velasquez at Georgetown's El Nopalito restaurant in January 2022. According to the Department of Justice, he was convicted of multiple charges, including first-degree murder and firearm offenses. His brother, Emner Morales Garcia, who participated in the robbery, was sentenced earlier to 27 years with 9 years to be served in prison. Yoni Morales Garcia will be officially sentenced on July 12th.
In a big step to control rising health care costs, Delaware lawmakers passed a new bill that will now go to Governor Carney's desk for approval. House Bill 350 sets up a board to review hospital budgets and control spending. Starting in 2025, hospitals must submit their budget and might need to make improvements if costs are too high. The bill also includes temporary limits on charges and some exemptions. Governor Carney praised the bill and says he plans to sign it into law soon.
Plans are in the works to transform an empty field off Route 24 into a giant shopping center. Take a look from our Coast Copter. A project called Atlantic Fields is eyeing 73.5 acres off Route 24 and Mulberry Knoll Road. According to the application, the total size of the commercial development would be 695,000 square feet, and 8.5 acres would be left as open space with plans for stormwater management. In order for it to happen, the zoning would need to be changed from agricultural residential to C4 planned commercial district. Some people we spoke with today said the shopping center would be good for business, but they'd be heartbroken to see this empty field developed. Lloyd Purcell, who has lived in Lewis for 57 years, says his biggest concern is traffic.
Traffic's bad enough as it is. This whole road is backed up on the weekend, on holiday weekends. I know it'll be backed up this weekend from that end to that end.
Today's Plus meeting was just for planning purposes. No decisions were made. Rezoning requests like this one have to go through County Council.
Near the same intersection, another development was approved back in 2016. The Sussex Planning and Zoning Commission reluctantly approved the Four Seasons development, which is located on 124 acres off of Mulberry Knoll Road in Lewis. The project included 269 homes. Despite concerns about increased traffic, the developer committed to adding a turn lane and traffic signal to ease congestion. Now built, the development has significantly impacted the small road, making major changes for the area.
I'm Madeline Overturf. Here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. Maryland's blue crab population is declining. That's according to new numbers from the Department of Natural Resources in the Chesapeake Bay. The biggest drop was spawning age female crabs from 152 million to 133 million. Who's a Good Boy? Canine Officer Leo and his partner, Corporal Jed Wooters, were named the 2023 Cambridge Police Officers of the Year. The department cited proactive efforts and community policing. If you live in Snow Hill and you smell something, don't worry. Take a look here. You can see it's from a fire at the Tyson feed plant. The county says it's aware and a contractor is working to extinguish that fire. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
Senate Democrats are forcing another vote on the bipartisan border bill that was blocked by Republicans earlier this year, and President Joe Biden is urging GOP congressional leaders to pass it this time.
This as a recent CNN poll found that 76% of registered voters view immigration as an extremely or very important issue to their presidential vote. Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook breaks down the back and forth between parties on this issue.
The White House and top congressional Democrats are discussing a series of moves aimed at strengthening their hand on border security.
This week, we are again attempting to fix something our Republican colleagues have long called an emergency and a crisis, our southern border.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is putting the pressure on Republicans and forcing another vote on a key immigration bill.
The very same bipartisan bill negotiated months ago.
The initial package, which included tough border provisions and foreign aid to U.S. allies, was blocked in February by the Senate amid pushback from top House Republicans and former President Donald Trump, who is making the border a central campaign issue in his race for the White House.
I said, that's okay. Please blame it on me. Please. because they were getting ready to pass a very bad bill.
Republican Senator James Lankford, who negotiated the deal and expressed disappointment when it did not pass, says that bringing it back up for consideration now won't fix the problem.
This has now become about a political conversation on it. At the end of the day, the problem's still there. We've got to solve the problem.
GOP leaders have already said they oppose Schumer's move to revote on the legislation, and some Democrats have spoken out against the standalone border bill as well. It's unlikely the bill will receive the 60 votes needed to advance. That vote is scheduled for Thursday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Delaware Senator Tom Carper weighing in today on Twitter, where he posted, quote, "Today I joined several of my colleagues on the Senate floor to urge the passage of the Bipartisan Border Act." Senator Carper would go on to add that this, quote, "is the strongest bill crafted in decades to address the challenges of our broken immigration system."
The Ocean City Police Department is cracking down on establishments that sell alcohol to minors this summer with a program they've used for years. The RAM program, which is short for Reducing Alcohol Availability to Minors, will be going undercover to see if any stores in Ocean City are selling alcohol to underage kids. To do this, RAM will have someone under the age of 21 trying to catch bars, restaurants, and alcohol retailers in the act as they attempt to purchase booze in Ocean City. The department communications manager, Ashley Miller, says this will help keep Ocean City safe during the busy season.
People getting served underage, whether it's at a bar or a restaurant or a convenience store, getting young people to not drink, it's just safer.
The RAM program has already begun in Ocean City and will continue until the end of the summer season.
Speaking of booze, it looks like it's taking a backseat to the bong, or at least marijuana in general. A new study says daily marijuana use is actually outpacing Americans' daily alcohol use. Daily being the important word here, though. The research published today in the Addiction Journal by the Society for the Study of Addiction found that while alcohol is still more widely used overall, the year 2022 saw marijuana use surpass high-frequency drinking for the first time. It was an estimated 17.7 million people using the psychoactive drug daily. That's compared to 14.7 million daily drinkers. The trend reflects changes in public policy as most states now allow medical or recreational marijuana use. We have more to get into this evening.
A more extensive Memorial Day cookout, the food prices going up, and how much you could be spending.
Traffic news, the roads closed for Salisbury's graduation, plus a Millsboro closure to watch out for as well.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. Listen, we're looking for scattered showers and thunderstorms on Thursday in Cambridge. Perhaps a sprinkle on Friday, but then Saturday might be a bit messy. Same pattern for Crisfield. We're going to talk about our chances of severe weather in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
The Subaru car has been an awesome change. It is definitely something that's reliable, safe. Gateway Subaru had what I was looking for. The dealership was just wonderful to deal with. Gateway really nailed it and you didn't feel pressured. They were more compassionate, willing to work with you. So Gateway provided me with the cross-check that I needed and I'm very comfortable with. Walked out with the keys in the car the same day and it's been running beautifully. And I love my Subaru.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
We're going to keep a close eye on how things develop tomorrow because we are bracing for the possibility of a strong storm to come knocking on our door. And right now, courtesy of our Dover Bay Health camera, right now we're staying very calm, but we have the temperature of 72 degrees. Now, we'll stay in the low 70s for the rest of the night in the Dover area with increasing cloud cover as we go into the early morning hours, bracing for that first wave of rain, which I think could possibly hit some areas as early as 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll go into that in more detail in just a moment. So we take a look at the temperatures right now and uniformly close to the 70-degree mark, a little below, a little above, but a combination of the two. But here's the big thing that's on the board. We do have the lowest level of severe threat for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. So we're going to watch out for the possibility of some rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow. Right now, we just have a small craft advisory throughout the Chesapeake Bay area. But this trough is going to begin to help to bring in the opportunity of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, but really the more embedded and more intense storms are still making its way across West Virginia and western portions of Virginia. Today we had a high of 87 degrees, so we have the potential of a lot of thermodynamic energy to help keep this going, because that's a good 11 degrees above the norm for this time of the year. So let's talk about the timing of this possibility. So we look at Ocean Pines down to Chincoteague. Thursday in the afternoon, this latest model run is indicating, hey, it's going to peter out pretty quickly, 3 o'clock in the morning. But then as we go in, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But then as we go into, let's say, 11 o'clock, we're looking for redeveloping scattered showers. And there's a bit of red underneath this Pocomoke City right here. So indicating a much stronger storm than it may seem like. And we could see some resurgence of some scattered showers Friday going into Saturday. Now, the amount of rain, about a half inch or a little bit above that, but not a full inch. Still about the timing from Fenwick Island up towards Milford, Rehoboth Beach, and Dewey Beach. So by the time we get to late Thursday going into Friday morning, we're looking at these cells becoming more intense. So this latest run that we ran just before we signed on, by the way, indicating that we may have to wait until Thursday evening to really deal with some heavy showers or anything like that. But then Friday morning, we see more in the way of more developing or redeveloping scattered showers. So we are looking at the possibility of some Friday scattered showers for Assateague as well as Chincoteague, with our forecast. But then also we see that we could see some scattered showers from Thursday going to Saturday in Fenwick Island. And in Lewis, we're looking at that chance of rain for a couple of days in a row as well. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling extended forecast. We'll keep an eye out on all our platforms to keep you informed on what develops for Thursday.
We'll keep an eye out for that, Paul. Roll up your sleeve now through the next Wednesday, or through next Wednesday, a week from now. You could get a Turkish towel, you could get a mini speaker. That is the promotion that the Blood Bank of Delmarva has running to encourage more people to donate blood. Memorial Day weekend doesn't only mark the start of the summer months. The Blood Bank of Delmarva says it's a critical time where people travel more and donate less blood.
In traffic news, part of Glen Avenue will be closed tomorrow for Salisbury University's commencement ceremonies. This affects the road from St. Albans Drive and Civic Avenue.
Drivers in Millsboro take note. Gravel Hill Road between Dock Frame Road and Route 24, that's going to be closed. DelDOT says that this closure will go from May 29th to May 31st for pipe installation. There are detours in place on Mount Joy Road.
Meet the new city manager of Rehoboth. Well, that's what the city wants its people to do. They're hosting an event where people can come share a coffee and have a conversation with Taylor Tedder, the new city manager. This event will be hosted June 5th at 9 a.m. at City Hall. Tedder began his new role on May 15th, ending the 6-month-long search, and with controversy as his $250,000 salary and other benefits were viewed as excessive by many.
Still to come, seat trays up, paws down, a new airline specifically for dogs and their owners, but it's not cheap.
And next, Alexa wants a raise. The little speaker that talks to you is getting an upgrade with AI, but that will cost you.
When you visit the Delmarva Design Center, you'll experience a selection of appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring all together in one showroom. The 10,000 square foot location has a variety of inspiring samples for any project size or budget. Your dedicated product experts and designers collaborate to bring your dream project to life. Come and see what the kitchen industry buzz is all about. Experience the Delmarva Design Center in Selbyville, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva's coast.
Spring into adventure at IG Burton Chevrolet. Drive a brand new Silverado with up to $8,200 off MSRP. Or check out an Equinox all-wheel drive with $5,750 off MSRP. Both are available with 1.9% APR and no payments for 3 months. Discover huge savings and great lease payments across our entire lineup. Details at igburton.com or any IG Burton Chevrolet location in Melford, Seaford, Lewis, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Spring is fading fast. No more waiting. It's time to get the deck of your dreams started. Paul Davis will design, build, or resurface any size deck with the highest quality materials.
Our AZAC decks are scratch, fade, and insect resistant with a lifetime warranty. We'll bring the showroom to you, provide you same-day estimates, handle permitting, and guide you through the HOA approvals.
Save big. Enjoy 20% off plus a $1,000 gift card free towards outdoor furniture from Donway when you invest in your new deck. Call Paul Davis for a free estimate.
Whether it's your first time betting or you've been gambling for years, have a plan and know the game. Be aware of the rules and odds before you gamble. Set a budget and never gamble with money you can't afford to lose. Take a break and consider teaming up with trusted friends to help you stick to your budget. Remember, if you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Amazon is planning to overhaul its Alexa voice assistant technology, but they're also going to add a subscription fee. According to people with knowledge of Amazon's plans, the tech and retail giant will upgrade Alexa with a generative artificial intelligence, creating a more conversational version of the product and potentially positioning it to better compete with new generative AI-powered chatbots from companies including Google and OpenAI. Amazon has not yet nailed down the price point of this Alexa subscription.
Dog lovers, listen to this. A new airline catering to dogs is about to take off beginning Thursday. Bark Air. What else would they call it? They will carry dogs of all sizes and their human companions on routes from New York, Los Angeles, and London. The airline says its goal is to offer an alternative to traditional air travel, which is often stressful for both dogs and their owners. The service has been pretty popular already with 15,000 requests for new destinations, but the flights are not going to come cheap. A one-way ticket for one dog and its owner costs $6,000 for domestic flights and $8,000 for international flights.
In regional news, a Denton man is dead after a motorcycle crash in Harrington. Delaware State Police says it happened around 4 p.m. when a Freightliner tractor and trailer was driving on Vernon Road. Troopers say the Freightliner was almost done turning left onto Fox Hunters when the motorcycle ran into the back of the trailer. The 31-year-old driver was ejected and died at the scene.
If you live in Greenwood, here's something you need to keep in mind tomorrow. The town is asking its homeowners to move their cars from the streets from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Street sweepers will be running during those times, and they need the roads to be cleared. Coming up in sports, a preview of the Delaware State playoffs on the Diamond, where Delmar and Indian River square off.
And next, student loan relief. President Biden announces a new round of debt repayments. We'll tell you who qualifies.
Well, let's take a look at our Gulf forecast, and it qualifies for a pretty back and forth kind of a day. We're looking for fair conditions because watching out for a chance of some after lunchtime storms, and even those are looking a little more delayed. So, give it a shot. Why not? What do you got to lose?
As we observe Memorial Day weekend, we honor the memory of the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation. This solemn occasion reminds us of the cost of freedom and the courage of those who have defended it. We salute all those who have served and fallen, whose legacy inspires us to cherish and protect the liberties they fought so valiantly to uphold. Let us remember their lives, not just in moments of silence, but through our actions that uphold the values they fought for, ensuring their sacrifices were not in vain.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Make dinner good tonight with Hardee's new tender platters. Crunchy, juicy chicken dipped in buttermilk and hand-breaded, served with garlic toast, fries, slaw, and an ice-cold drink. Delicious, down to the very last crumb. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH First Spring into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
The internet's not what it used to be. With MediaCom, you'll be living and working with new technology.
Welcome to the most unreal reality.
MediaCom's supercharged platform will power a new era of business, speed the creation of new technologies, redefine the rules, and revolutionize everyday living. The biggest thing to happen to the internet?
Since the invention of the internet.
It's happening. Get ready. Anything is possible.
As I get older, I was getting a little off balance. Got recommendations for baths by Bicep Brothers. I love my shower. It's perfect for me. My favorite part was probably how quick and easy it was. They came in the morning and they were done by afternoon. I definitely wanted the grab bars. They also put the seat in, which was very nice. The wand is good, especially if you're sitting. So much safer to get in and out of now. It seems like my showers are quicker that way. So it's perfect.
They're here, and they're out for blood. Mosquitoes come from far and wide to turn you and your family into unwilling blood donors. Regular treatment by Brazier's Pest Control can establish a perimeter of defense that can help keep your family from becoming a mosquitoes buffet. We have plans that can cover any size yard and keep your family mosquito and tick free all season long. Call us today and declare your backyard a no-fly zone.
Introducing Hardee's Blueberry Biscuits. Make summer mornings sweeter with the goodness of blueberries baked into Hardee's biscuits, drizzled in icing, served warm. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
News that affects your wallet. A new round of student debt forgiveness was rolled out by the Biden administration today. The White House says President Biden is canceling $7.7 billion for 160,000 borrowers, including certain borrowers who received public service loan forgiveness like teachers, nurses, law enforcement officials. The debt relief also applies to some borrowers that are signed up for the Saving on a Valuable Education or SAVE plan.
New tonight, your Memorial Day cookout will cost more this year. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, ground beef prices are up compared to last year.
So just how much can you expect to spend on food? Jen Sullivan crunches the numbers in today's Consumer Watch.
If you're planning on hosting a barbecue this Memorial Day weekend, higher food prices may burn a hole in your wallet. The price of some barbecue basics are higher this year than last year. Expect to pay more for hamburgers. According to the latest data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the national average of a pound of uncooked ground beef is $5.56. That's about 31 cents higher than last year when prices were at $5.25. So if you want to cook 5 one-pound burgers, that's going to cost you about $28 just for the meat. Steak is seeing the biggest spike in prices. On average, a beef steak will cost you about $10.75 a pound compared to around $9.96 last year. That's a 79-cent increase. Your cheaper options are pork chops, costing roughly $4.24 per pound, and boneless chicken breast, which is about $4.06 per pound. Other summer staples like alcohol will also cost you more. A 16-ounce malt beverage like beer is slightly more this year at $1.78. A liter of wine will cost you about 36 cents more this year at $13.66. There is some good news. Milk and egg prices are down from this time last year. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
It's postseason time in the DIAA state playoffs on the Diamond, and we'll have it for you on DSN. 10-seed Delmar faces off with 23-seed Indian River, a shot to advance to the second round on the line. The Wildcats come into this one after a streaky 11-7 regular season. It began with 4 straight wins, then followed by 5 straight losses, and then how about 5 consecutive wins on the back end, including a 7-6 comeback win over Indian River. And on that Indian River side, they come in at 23rd out of the 24-team field, but they're playing their best ball. Winners of 3 consecutive games to end the season, and like Delmar, they come into this one off a lengthy break, so their best arms will be ready to go. This one is live on the Delmarva Sports Network at 2:55. Sticking in Del Mar, let's take a look ahead at this week's episode of Into the Trenches, the Wildcat Legacy. Adversity was the theme for the earlier parts of the season, but now Del Mar faces their biggest obstacle yet.
On the next Into the Trenches.
There is a lot of grief and sadness in Del Mar tonight.
I mean, nobody knew. Some kids didn't know until they came to the school. I think it was important that that game not get away and be played.
I'm sure it was a struggle for the players to stay focused.
This is football game. Everything in the world doesn't ride on it. Don't get too excited when it goes great. Don't let it get away if it doesn't.
Thursday at 7:30 on DSN.
That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Drumming, singing, and dancing into Memorial Day weekend, the beats you can catch at the bandstand.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
Shop the Memorial Day mattress sale at Johnny Janasic and find premium mattresses starting at just $29 a month. Plus, get 0% APR for 60 months, a $300 gift card, and free local delivery. Going on now at Johnny Janasic.
The Memorial Day sales event is here with more inventory, more savings, and more reasons to buy. Get a great deal on Bronco Sport, Explorer, and Escape. There's more to love and more ways to save during the Memorial Day sales event. But hurry, it all ends June 3rd. Now get 1.9% financing on select Ford SUVs, plus no payments for 90 days, only at your local Ford dealer.
Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
When I decided to have my kitchen done, I knew I wanted it done professionally, and that's when I contacted Ellen. She took me to the Delmarva Design Center.
From the moment I bring a customer into Delmarva Design Center, the ideas start to flow. First thing we do is take a stroll around the showroom so we can look at all the different vignettes to get ideas of what they like and see what they react to.
For each of the different aspects that I wanted to change in my kitchen, there were experts here, and everyone was so helpful. They listened to what I had to say, and they had great ideas that helped me put together exactly what I wanted for my kitchen.
My goal is to have the customer enjoy their space as quickly as possible, and Delmarva Design Center helps me do that.
My kitchen is one of my favorite places now. It's something that I use every single day of my life. I'm elated with my experience at the Delmarva Design Center.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Shop the Memorial Day mattress sale at Johnny Janasic and find premium mattresses starting at just $29 a month. Plus, get 0% APR for 60 months, a $300 gift card, and free local delivery. Going on now at Johnny Janasic.
Hoboth Beach Bandstand 2024 Summer Concert Series is back Memorial Day through Labor Day. The Memorial Day weekend lineup includes Mike Hines and The Look on Friday, the U.S. Navy Band Country Current on Saturday, and Shot Through the Heart, the Bon Jovi Experience closing down the stage Sunday night. Concerts start at 8 p.m. and are free to the public.
Our Tyndall Casual Furniture camera showing that we've got just a little bit of a breeze, but not much for us. We're staying at 62 degrees, and we'll stay in the low 60s, actually, for the rest of this evening. Now, keep in mind, our umbrella giveaway winner is Marlene Morris of Lewis. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Our UV index for the next few days, by the way, sponsored by Ocean City. We're looking forward to stay elevated, actually, to 6 to 9 to 7 to 8 for the next few days in a row. So we'll get a decent amount of sunshine. The only advisory we have right now, breezy for us along the Chesapeake Bay area. You can call our telephone line if you want the latest forecast, sponsored by Bairdman, Dallas, Brockstead, and Federico. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. And finally, your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling exclusive 10-day forecast. We're looking for that chance of thunderstorms on Thursday with a high of 86 degrees. But we're looking at 2 different time frames, possibly at 9 o'clock, then at 2:30, maybe also at 4, as far as those isolated showers pushing through. Friday will be clear. Saturday is sort of the same scattered pattern, and then we're looking for that same back and forth pattern again for next Monday.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.